Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Three Rivers Outdoors. My helper Jay is not available today to help with this quick video, but I actually want to do a review on something that is literally from 1946, and I found it in my dad's basement, which is real interesting. This is a Coleman pocket stove that was made in the United States, modeled after what is called the Coleman Model 520. This is a civilian version that is called the Coleman 530. This was produced between 1946 and 1947. A little bit of history on this thing, and I'll open it up. It does contain two aluminum pots, but as I kind of show you, one is much larger than the other, and then of course there's the stove. These things are rarely found all together, especially in the condition that this is in, and that was testament to my dad keeping really good care of it. These were built in World War II in response to the United States military's need for a compact GI stove. They wanted one that was a little bit the size, I guess the size of a thermos, quart thermos, and it had to operate between temperatures of minus 60 degrees and 125 degrees Fahrenheit. They did call this the GI pocket stove. The GI version had 3 feet that folded out. This is the civilian version. The GI version was of course painted olive drab. This is a nickel-plated, I believe this is nickel-plated brass for the fuel tank. Yes, it is. It is nickel-plated brass. Sorry, I have my notes, my cheat sheet. It was said that this particular stove was one of the most effective tools that the USGIs had in the war, second only to that of the Jeep. So these things are really cool and they're super unique. They are a little bit heavy. It measures about 8.5 inches by 4.5 inches, does weigh 3 pounds. It will burn unleaded, just regular motor fuel for your vehicles, or white gas, which is just Coleman fuel. That seems to burn a little bit cleaner. It doesn't want to foul up the jets. And it does hold, as I said, a pint of fuel. Interestingly enough, this burns for 3 hours at 5,000 BTUs. So this thing does get pretty hot. In fact, what we're going to do today, just because I only have a few minutes, we're going to do a test. I have here 2 cups of tap water. And this, literally, I don't know what temperature it comes out of. It's, cold enough to drink, but I guess wouldn't be ice cold. We're gonna time it with a stopwatch and see how this thing actually works. So I just want to show you just a couple of the features. It does come with this wrench. The wrench is used for tightening up a variety of the different, all the nuts on it are the exact same size. This wrench is used to tighten down all those things, as well as it doubles as a pot lifter. Always lift it from the bottom. When you lift it from the top, doesn't work all that well because of this ridge. In fact, you can't even really get it in there that way. It's got to go underneath, and it does have on the side here a funnel, which is used to fill the stove and keep the fuel going into the tank instead of dumping it all over the place. One thing that you will find, if you do find one of these stoves, you're going to have to replace the gasket inside of the cap. It is typically, these gaskets go bad. You can get a gasket at Home Depot that will work. Just a nice rubber gasket. Make sure you tighten that down. And any of the Coleman, taking this Coleman, the pump apart, there's almost a leather, I think it's leather, when I took it apart just to get it all cleaned out. Soak that in some oil, and that leather pump will expand and fit nice and tight on the inside. So we're going to try here, just pumping it up. One thing I would mention too, on the top of this stove there is going to be 6 fold-out arms, like this, that will hold a pot and give you a little bit more steady surface to sit it on. These things are really neat. If you ever have a chance to get your hands on one, do try, because they are super, super cool. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this thing pumped up. I'm going to give myself, honestly, a little bit of ventilation here in the house, because the Coleman gas does smell, and when I come back, I'm going to have this thing lit and the pot of water ready to go. Hey guys, here we are. We're going to fill up our larger pot with 2 cups of the tap water. And really what you do here, after you've given it some pumps, you turn this 1/4 of a turn to the left and you light it. After the flame burns for, it says blue, 3 to 5 minutes, open as far as possible. So we're going to give this a try. That's not quite the turn. As you can see, it does start out with quite a large flame, and it is hot. I mean, absolutely. But this thing does have a little bit of a sputter to them. They're all this way. It's very common. Once the burner inside, and I'll show you a few shots of this, once the burner inside gets hot, where the gas is shooting up against, then you get this wonderfully hot blue flame. And it is amazing how hot that is. You can't even put your hand above it. So I'm going to put this on here, and we're going to get the timer set. We're going to see exactly how long it takes to boil this. Sorry, my head's in the way. So ready? Guys, I will check back after we get our stopwatch going here, and we're going to see exactly how long this boil takes. Stay tuned. Hey guys, we're back, and we are now 2 minutes and 30 seconds into our boil, and I can tell you with some certainty that this water is already pretty hot to the touch. You're certainly not leaving your finger in that water, and that flame is as blue as you can imagine. I just think it's wonderful. These little stoves from 1946, 1946 and 47. They made them in Canada until 1951, but they discontinued them in the States in 1947. Still works at an absolutely incredible boil rate. It's really neat if you just have room in your pack and you're wanting to goof around outside. I know some people say you shouldn't eat out of aluminum. I don't know if that'll kill you or not. God, some of the stuff we eat today has so many chemicals in it anyway. I'm surprised that hasn't killed us all anyway. But this is such a cool little stove, and although heavy at 3 pounds, as you can tell, is extremely, extremely efficient. So I'm gonna let the water go here just a little bit more and check in with you and show you what we timed out. Guys, real quick, as you can see, we are nearing the 4.5. We just crossed 4.5 minutes, and I want to show you something. It is not yet a rolling boil, but it is hot. So you can see inside of there how amazing and hot that flame is. You can feel the heat actually above the pot itself, which is incredible. We probably need another 15 or 20 seconds before this thing is really, really, really going. So we are at 5 minutes and almost at 6 minutes. 5.5. 5 minutes 30 seconds, guys. I would call that boiling, because it is you couldn't touch it right now by any means. So 5.5 minutes on that stove. Probably 5 if you didn't want it to be a rolling boil. How neat is that? Hey everyone. So we're back. The pot's been boiling now for a few minutes. I'm gonna just grab this off of the stove, I'm going to put that on a hot pad. I'm just going to set that aside for a little bit. As you can see, I'm sure it might have even went faster in this, maybe. I don't know, just because it's going to heat it up. But I want to give you a quick shot, a couple of the close-ups of this stove as it's actually going. So I'm going to grab the video here off the tripod, and I'm going to show you really up close what you're working with. Okay guys, as you can see, that blue flame is very, very, very hot. And it doesn't lose pressure. This stove is really kept going. We do have it on the full blast on the nozzle. There is an adjustment over here, which gets a little bit hot. Sometimes you might want to use your wrench to sort of turn it. Or grab it and turn it, I should say. That will actually turn the stove off. So if you turn it upwards, like this, it literally turns the stove completely off. So I just wanted to give you a little quick perspective of this thing, because I mean it is no more than, as I said, about 8 inches tall, and just super, super cool. This one happens to be in tremendously good shape. As you can see, there was no rust whatsoever, and this is the original condition of the pots. I mean, as you can see, they are just in fabulous, fabulous condition. I'm honestly, guys, very appreciative of my dad for keeping some of these things in our family, keeping them in such good shape. I know it's just a little stove, and you know, to some folks it probably doesn't mean much. You watch this video and go, that's cool. But to me, this reminds me of my dad and all the excitement that we used to have when we would be thinking about going trout fishing or whatever it was. He'd get me so worked up for stuff. It was fun. So one of the things I would say too, and like when my son Jay is with me, a lot of times we get worked up over stuff too, and that's part of the fun of the outdoors. Just being able to find something, use it, clean it up, get it ready, make it work again. I think this is honestly one of the neatest little stoves. I want to say thank you to the Lantern King on eBay out of California for sending me the wrench that we needed. And it's 14 bucks. You can find it online. I can put the man's contact information below. If you come across one of these, 99% of the time it's either missing the funnel, missing the wrench, or both. Mine happened to be missing the wrench. And I'd made a pot lifter for it, but it's nowhere near as cool as this. And the Lantern King, he has a couple hundred of these still. So whereas parts are being lost and hard to find, this guy's got everything. So I want to say thank you and shout out to him. Also, I want to thank all of the folks who have recently subscribed to our channel. We think it's fun to do these videos on little stuff that we find around the house and things we're doing. So hopefully you stick with us. Again, happy Saturday night, and thanks for watching Three Rivers Outdoors. Take care.